All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning. I am Sarabjit Kaur and with me is VC Pramod. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi calls upon students not to fear for exams and celebrate them, asks parents not to put undue pressure on children and let them enjoy exams. Prime Minister gets second dose of COVID vaccine, Corona situation and expansion of vaccination to be reviewed by Prime Minister with all Chief Ministers this evening. Centre asks Maharashtra, Punjab and Delhi to undertake necessary corrective actions immediately to improve COVID-19 vaccination drive. More than 9 crore doses of Corona vaccine administered in the country. Madhya Pradesh government offices to work for 5 days a week for next 3 months. High school and intermediate examinations of Uttar Pradesh board postponed till 8th of May. Maharashtra government promotes all state board students of class 9th and 11th to next class without any examination. High-level meeting to commemorate 400th birth anniversary of Guru Tegh Bahadur ji to be chaired by Prime Minister today. India urges G20 members to ensure equitable access and widespread distribution of vaccines. And in sports, Paris Saint-Germain defeat Bayern Munich while Chelsea edge past FC Porto in the first leg of quarter-finals of UEFA Champions League. As the number of COVID cases are on the rise again, we appeal to our listeners not to lower their guard, take all precautions and all those above 45 years to get vaccinated without any hesitation. Stay safe and protected by following these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. Now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has asked students not to fear for exams but to celebrate them. Prime Minister also asked parents not to pressurize kids and let them enjoy exams. Engaging with students, parents and teachers at the first virtual edition of Pariksha Pe Charcha, Mr. Modi shared his mantras to overcome stress and anxiety. He stressed that students and parents should not consider exams the end of life and always try to do better in the next attempt.
मैं पेरेंट्स से कहना चाहता हूँ, हम आवश्यकता से अधिक ओवर कॉन्शियस हो जाते हैं, हम थोड़े ज्यादा ही सोचने लग जाते हैं। ये कोई आखिरी मुकाम नहीं है, ये जिंदगी बहुत लंबी है, बहुत पड़ाव आते हैं, एक छोटा सा पड़ाव है। हमें दबाव नहीं बनाना चाहिए, चाहे टीचर हो, स्टूडेंट हो, परिवारजन हो, यार दोस्त हो। अगर बाहर का दबाव कम हो गया, खत्म हो गया, तो एग्जाम का दबाव कभी महसूस नहीं होगा, कॉन्फिडेंस फलेगा, फूलेगा।
The Prime Minister asked teachers to guide students on time management. While interacting with Punyo Sunya from Arunachal Pradesh and Vinita Garg from Delhi, Mr. Modi suggested that students should divide their attention and energy accordingly towards each subject.
स्टूडेंट से मैं यही कहूंगा कि आपको अपनी एनर्जी को इक्वली डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करना चाहिए। सभी विषयों में बराबर बराबर। आपके पास पढ़ाई के लिए 2 घंटे हैं, तो उन घंटों में हर सब्जेक्ट को समान भाव से पढ़िए। अपने समय को इक्वल डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करिए। वहीं टीचर्स के लिए मेरी सलाह ये है, वो विद्यार्थियों से उनको टाइम मैनेजमेंट के संबंध में, उसके तौर तरीके के संबंध में, सिलेबस के बाहर जाकर के भी कभी उनसे बातें करें, उनसे चर्चा करें, उनको गाइड करें।
Prime Minister also said a student should always try to attempt the difficult topic in the beginning and devote more time to it. Mr. Modi added that hard subjects and topics must be done in the morning before jumping on to easier topics because the mind is fresh and concentration is sharp.
जो सरल है वो पहले करें, ये आम तौर पर ये कहा जाता है और एग्जाम में तो खास तौर पर बार बार कहा जाता है जो सरल उसको पहले करो भाई, जब टाइम बचेगा तब वो कठिन है उसको हाथ लगाना। लेकिन पढ़ाई को लेकर मैं समझता हूँ ये सलाह आवश्यक नहीं है और उपयोगी भी नहीं है। मैं जरा इस चीज को अलग नजरिए से देखता हूँ। मैं कहता हूँ जबकि पढ़ाई की बात हो तो कठिन जो है उसको पहले लीजिए। आपका माइंड फ्रेश है, आप खुद फ्रेश हैं, उसको अटेंड करने का प्रयास कीजिए। जब कठिन को अटेंड करेंगे तो सरल तो और भी आसान हो जाएगा।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi today took the second dose of COVID-19 at AIIMS in New Delhi. After taking the shot, Prime Minister said vaccination is among the few ways available to defeat the virus. Mr. Modi urged all the people who are eligible to take the vaccine to get the shot soon. He also appealed to register on cowin.gov.in.
Miss Nisha Sharma, hailing from Sangrur in Punjab, administered the second dose of vaccination to Prime Minister Narendra Modi at the vaccination centre AIIMS in New Delhi today. Expressing her feeling, Ms. Sharma said that it was a memorable moment for her.
I have given second dose of Covaxin manufactured by Biotech to our beloved Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji. आज सुबह ही हमें पता चला कि सर अपनी कोवैक्सीन की सेकंड डोज के लिए एम्स आ रहे हैं और हमें उन्हें वैक्सीनेट करना है। हमने उनको वैक्सीन की सेकंड डोज दी। हमें बहुत अच्छा लगा उनसे मिलके और फिर उनसे थोड़ी सी बातचीत भी हुई। उन्होंने पूछा कि हम कहाँ से हैं और फिर एक फोटोग्राफ ली। इट वाज रियली वेरी मेमोरेबल मोमेंट फॉर मी कि उनसे मिलने का मौका मिला और उन्हें वैक्सीनेट करने का मौका मिला इस पैंडेमिक सिचुएशन में।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will hold meeting with chief ministers of all the states today to discuss the ongoing COVID situation in India. The meeting comes in the wake of steep rise in fresh infections. He will also discuss the ongoing vaccination drive during the virtual meet. Prime Minister Modi's last interaction with the chief ministers was on the 17th of March. He had expressed concern over the rise in COVID-19 cases in parts of the country and called for quick and decisive steps to check the emerging second peak.
More than 9 crore COVID-19 vaccine doses have been administered in the country. It is a landmark achievement in the country's fight against the pandemic. Over 13,14,623 vaccine doses were given till 8 p.m. yesterday, the 82nd day of nationwide COVID-19 vaccination. Out of which 12,04,551 beneficiaries were vaccinated for the first dose and over 1,10,000 beneficiaries received the second dose of the vaccine. Centre has asked Maharashtra, Punjab and Delhi to undertake necessary corrective actions immediately for improving the COVID-19 vaccination drives in their state and union territories. Additional Secretary, Union Health Ministry Manohar Agnani has written to Principal Secretaries of Health and Family Welfare of Punjab, Delhi and Maharashtra. In a letter to Maharashtra Principal Secretary, Mr. Agnani said a total of over 1 crore 6 lakh doses have been made available to the state and the total consumption is 90 lakh 53,000. He said detailed analysis of performance of COVID-19 vaccination drive reveals that 85.95% of registered healthcare workers have received the first dose of COVID-19 vaccine so far, but the second dose coverage among the registered healthcare workers is nearly 41%, which is below the national average and it needs improvement. In a letter to Punjab Principal Secretary, Mr. Agnani said a total of over 22,36,000 doses have been made available to the state and the total consumption is 14,94,000. He said the vaccination dose coverage is also below the national average where improvement is required. In a letter to Delhi Principal Secretary, Mr. Agnani said a total of over 23,70,000 doses have been made available to the UT and the total consumption is over 18,70,000. He said the vaccination dose coverage is also below the national average, which needs improvement.
In Madhya Pradesh, all government officers will work for 5 days a week from Monday to Friday for the next 3 months. This was decided at a high-level meeting under the chairmanship of Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan in view of the increasing infection of corona in the state. Some additional restrictions were also announced by the state government. Report from our Bhopal correspondent.
Night curfew will be imposed in all the urban areas of the state every day from today 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. till the next order. Also, there will be a lockdown every Sunday until further orders. There will be a complete lockdown in Chhindwara district from 8 p.m. on April 8 for the next 7 days. Meanwhile, the state reported 4,043 fresh COVID cases on Wednesday, while 2,126 recovered from infection. Pooja Pivardhan, AIR News, Bhopal.
High school and the intermediate examinations of the Uttar Pradesh Board, Asia's largest education board, will now commence from the 8th of May. An announcement to this effect was made by the Secondary Education Board yesterday. The exams, which were scheduled to begin from April 24th, have been postponed due to the three-tier panchayat polls in the state.
The Uttar Pradesh government will launch special focused COVID vaccination drive from today. The drive will focus on the beneficiaries of different social groups who are above 45 years of age. The drive will continue till 23rd of this month. Chief Medical Officer in all districts will be in charge of this drive. Mission Director, National Health Mission Uttar Pradesh, Aparna Upadhyay said journalists, media workers and retail and wholesale shopkeepers will be vaccinated today and tomorrow. Bank and insurance employees will get their vaccine on coming Saturday, while teachers of schools and colleges will be vaccinated from 12th to 14th of this month. The Maharashtra government has promoted all state board students of class 9th and 11th to the next class without any examination in the wake of the current COVID-19 situation. State's Education Minister Varsha Gaikwad said decision regarding 10th and 12th board exams are expected in a few days. More details from our Mumbai correspondent.
Days after the Maharashtra government decided to promote students from class 1 to class 8 to the next level, State Education Minister Varsha Gaikwad yesterday informed that students of class 9 and 11 too have been promoted to the next level. She said the decision was taken after taking stock of current exceptional situation due to COVID-19. She said class 9 and 11 is the base of a student to appear for the board exams of class 10 and 12. And by taking into account this aspect, she said the Education Department will undertake various programs to prepare students to appear for 10th and 12th board exams. Meanwhile, the Brihan Mumbai Municipal Corporation has allowed necessary movement of students appearing for the competitive exams during the weekend lockdown. Kunal Shinde, AIR News, Mumbai.
Gujarat has recorded 3,575 new cases of COVID-19 infections during the last 24 hours. According to the State Health Department, 2,217 patients have recovered and have been discharged from the hospitals. More from our Ahmedabad correspondent.
Maximum 804 new cases have been reported from Ahmedabad, while Surat recorded 621 new cases. Total 3,05,149 patients have been recovered from COVID-19 in the state till now. Gujarat has 18,684 active cases at present, out of which 175 patients are on ventilator. 22 patients died yesterday due to COVID-19. With this, the death toll due to COVID-19 in the state has gone up to 4,620. Meanwhile, a total 60,61,290 persons have been vaccinated in the state till now. Ahmedabad Municipal Corporation has added 2,700 COVID beds in the various hospitals. Yogesh Pandya, AIR News, Ahmedabad.
Odisha government has suspended physical teaching for students of class 9th and 11th from today in view of the spiraling cases of COVID-19. However, physical classes for students of class 10th and 12th will continue till the 25th of April with strict adherence to COVID-19 protocols. More from our Bhubaneswar correspondent.
With COVID-19 infection soaring, the state government has taken a number of measures to contain further spread of the virus. While night curfew has already been clamped in 10 out of the 30 districts, the police administration has launched a 10-day enforcement drive to curb COVID inappropriate behavior across the state. While movement of people in the border districts of the state abutting Chhattisgarh is being monitored, in the holy city of Puri, the local administration has mandated visitors from 5 red flag states to produce COVID negative reports. Meanwhile, the state yesterday reported a high of 791 fresh cases, taking the total active caseload of the state to 4,255, marking almost a 6 times increase during the last 1 month only. Girish Chandra Das, AIR News, Bhubaneswar.
In Jharkhand, the new set of guidelines issued by the state government will come into force from today onwards. Public places including gyms, parks, schools, colleges and educational institutions will remain closed till April 30th to stop the spread of growing COVID-19 infection in the state. 1,312 active COVID-19 cases were detected yesterday, taking the total count of active cases to 7,872 in the state. More details from our Ranchi correspondent.
Schools will remain closed except students appearing for 10th and 12th board examinations have been allowed to attend offline classes only after their parents' consent. Public places, shops, malls and markets have been ordered to close after 8 p.m. in the evening. Masks have been made mandatory for all locations and penalty imposed for non-usage of masks in public. Shops, malls, restaurants have been instructed to strictly adhere to no mask, no entry rule. Any procession, picket, demonstration, fair and exhibition has been completely banned. Shilpi, AIR News, Ranchi.
You are listening to the morning news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi calls upon students to not fear for exams and celebrate them. Asks parents not to put undue pressure on children and let them enjoy exams. Prime Minister gets second dose of COVID vaccine. Corona situation and expansion of vaccination to be reviewed by Prime Minister with all Chief Ministers this evening. Centre asks Maharashtra, Punjab and Delhi to undertake necessary corrective actions immediately to improve COVID-19 vaccination drive. More than 9 crore doses of corona vaccine administered in the country. Madhya Pradesh government offices to work for 5 days a week for the next 3 months. High school and intermediate examinations of the Uttar Pradesh board postponed till the 8th of May. Maharashtra government promotes all state board students of class 9th and 11th to the next class without any examination. High-level meeting to commemorate 400th birth anniversary of Guru Tegh Bahadur ji to be chaired by Prime Minister today. India urges G20 members to ensure equitable access and widespread distribution of vaccines. And in sports, Paris Saint-Germain defeat Bayern Munich while Chelsea edged past FC Porto in the first leg of the quarterfinals of the UEFA Champions League. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो खुद से वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
Welcome back to the morning news. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Seychelles President Wavel Ramkalawan will jointly inaugurate a range of Indian projects in Seychelles virtually today. The high-level event will feature joint e-inauguration of the new Magistrates Court building and handing over of a fast petrol vessel to Seychelles Coast Guard. It also includes handing over of a 1 megawatt solar power plant and inauguration of 10 high-impact community development projects. More details from our correspondent.
The new Magistrates Court building in the capital city Victoria is India's first major civil infrastructure project in Seychelles built with grant assistance. It is a state-of-the-art building which will substantially enhance the capacity of the Seychelles judicial system and aid in better delivery of judicial services. The fast patrol vessel, which is a modern and fully equipped naval ship, has been made in India and is being gifted to Seychelles under Indian grant assistance to strengthen its maritime surveillance capabilities. Seychelles occupies a central place in Prime Minister's vision of Sagar, which is security and growth for all in the region. The inauguration of these key projects demonstrates India's privileged and time-tested role as a reliable partner of Seychelles for meeting its infrastructural, developmental and security requirements. It is testimony to the deep and friendly ties between the people of India and Seychelles. Suparna Saikia, AIR News, Delhi.
Prime Minister Modi will chair a meeting of the high-level committee to commemorate the 400th birth anniversary of Guru Tegh Bahadur ji through video conferencing. Home Minister Amit Shah will also attend the meeting. The meeting will discuss the year-long calendar of events planned to mark this special occasion. The high-level committee was constituted by the Centre on 24th October last year to approve policies, plans and programs related to the commemoration of the birth anniversary. It has 70 members including the Prime Minister as chairman.
Government has said the allegations of Delhi government that Food Corporation of India has not opened any purchase centre in Delhi are false. It said FCI Delhi region is fully prepared to procure wheat from farmers of Delhi at 3 centres which have been completely operational from the 1st of April. These centres are FSD Mayapuri, FSD Narela and APMC Najafgarh Mandi. Till date, 158 quintal wheat has been purchased at FSD Narela. Earlier, Delhi government had alleged that FCI has not set up a single counter for wheat procurement in Delhi and is making false claims of buying the crop at minimum support price rates from the 1st of April. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has urged all G20 members to ensure equitable access and widespread distribution of vaccines. Participating virtually in the second G20 Finance Ministers and Central Bank Governors meeting, Ms. Sitharaman shared that India is running an ambitious program of rapid domestic vaccination. She said India has emerged as a key global producer of vaccines and medical products, especially during the pandemic. The minister stated that India has covered over 87 million citizens in its vaccination drive so far and has supplied over 64 million doses to 84 countries, including 10 million doses as grant. She urged the G20 high-level independent panel on financing the Global Commons for Pandemic Preparedness and Response to draw upon these experiences of the country.
Dr. Rajendra K. Dhamija, neurologist at the Lady Hardinge Medical College, participating in the special discussion program on All India Radio on COVID-19, has said that people should come forward to take the vaccine to curb the COVID-19 pandemic in the country.
लोगों में आगे बढ़कर टीका लगवाना चाहिए। अभी भी बहुत कम लोगों ने टीका लगवाया है। 60 to 70% जब तक लोगों को टीका नहीं लगता है या नेचुरल इन्फेक्शन नहीं आती है, तब तक कोरोना पर काबू पाना मुश्किल है और हम उसी दिशा में आगे बढ़ रहे हैं। सरकार अपनी तरफ से पूरी कोशिश कर रही है कि जितने से जितने ज्यादा और जल्दी लोगों को टीका लगे, उतनी जल्दी ही हम इम्यून कर पाएं या प्रोटेक्ट कर पाएं।
He said that there are several means. By using them, one can control COVID-19.
वैक्सीन और कोविड अप्रोप्रिएट बिहेवियर, जिसमें सैनिटाइजेशन, मास्किंग और डिस्टेंसिंग, ये 3 जो हैं बहुत जरूरी हैं और अगर हम इनका कड़ाई से पालन करें, सेल्फ डिसिप्लिन लेकर, तभी हम कोरोना से बच सकते हैं। अगर जरूरी नहीं है तो घर से बाहर ना निकलें, भीड़ वाली जगह पर बिल्कुल ही नहीं जाएं और ये जो ड्रिल्स हैं सैनिटाइजिंग की, मास्किंग की और डिस्टेंसिंग की, ये सब हम लोगों को पता है, लेकिन हमें अपने बिहेवियर को चेंज करना है और इस ड्रिल को पालन करना है, इस ड्रिल को अपनाना है।
Campaigning for the 4th phase of assembly elections in West Bengal will end this evening. 44 constituencies spread over 5 districts will go to polls in this phase on Saturday. This phase will witness many prominent candidates of different political parties. More details from our Kolkata correspondent.
One of the most sought-after seats in this phase is Taliganj of South 24 Parganas. Singer-turned Union Minister Babul Supriyo from the BJP is challenging Senior Minister of Bengal Cabinet, Trinamool Congress candidate Aurup Bishwas. Actor Devdutt Ghosh is the CPM candidate for Sanjukta Morcha. The southern fringe of Kolkata comes under the seat which is known as the studio area of Bengali film and television industry. Apart from the issues like supply of purified drinking water, opposition parties have targeted the ruling party for running syndicate in the tinsel town too, though the party in power is refuting the allegations, mentioning the welfare schemes launched for the artists and technicians. State Education Minister Porto Chatterjee is seeking re-election as Trinamool Congress candidate from the constituency Behala Paschim. The Secretary General of the TMC is challenged by actress Shravanti Chatterjee of the BJP, who recently joined the party. Nihar Bhakto of the CPIM is also in the fray, whereas in Kashba constituency, Minister Javed Ahmed Khan has again been fielded by the Trinamool Congress. Among his rivals are Dr. Indranil Khan of the BJP and Shatarup Ghosh of the CPIM. Madhuparna Dhar Chaudhary for EIN News, Kolkata.
A special NIA court has granted permission to CBI to interrogate suspended cop Sachin Vaze in connection with the corruption allegations made against Maharashtra's former Home Minister Anil Deshmukh. Special Judge P.R. Setre also extended Vaze's NIA custody till Friday in connection with the explosives found near industrialist Mukesh Ambani's house and the consequent murder of businessman Mansukh Hiren. The CBI will question Vaze while he is in NIA's custody. Vaze was arrested by the NIA on 13th of last month. Vazir also tried to put on record his statement against Anil Deshmukh and another cabinet minister from Maharashtra government. According to the letter, Anil Deshmukh allegedly asked Vazir for 2 crore rupees concerning his suspension and reinstatement.
Water taxis and Ropax ferries will soon be part of Mumbai's transportation system. Union Minister Mansukh Mandaviya reviewed the urban water transportation projects for Mumbai. 4 new routes for Ropax ferry services and 12 new routes of water taxi are planned to be operational by December this year. The new routes are from Ropax terminal to Nerul, Kashid, Mora. Water taxis will operate on domestic cruise terminal to Nerul, Belapur, Vashi, Airoli, etc. Water taxi will also run on Belapur Thane, Vashi Thane, Belapur Gateway of India and Vashi to Gateway of India. In the first leg of the quarter-final tie of the Union of European Football Associations Champions League UEFA, Paris Saint-Germain produced a superb away performance to beat title holders Bayern Munich 3-2 in a thrilling encounter. For Paris Saint-Germain, its ace skimmer Mbappe scored 2 goals. It was a meeting between last year's finalists and they both contributed in a hugely entertaining game that in itself would have been worthy of being the final of the competition. In another match, Chelsea defeated FC Porto 2-0 in the Champions League. It was the perfect response by Chelsea after last weekend's embarrassment, a resilient, determined and professional performance against a team that had eliminated Juventus in the previous round.
And now let us take a look at the weather forecast for today. The national capital Delhi will have mainly clear sky with maximum temperatures of 36 degrees Celsius and a minimum of 19 degrees. Mumbai will have mainly clear sky. The maximum temperature is expected to be around 33 degrees Celsius while the minimum is at 26 degrees. Chennai, the maximum temperature is around 34 degrees Celsius while the minimum was 25 degrees. Kolkata, maximum temperature around 36 degrees Celsius while the minimum was 27 degrees. Srinagar will have generally cloudy sky with light rain. Maximum temperature around 18 degrees Celsius while the minimum was 6 degrees. Jammu, the temperatures will rise up to nearly 32 degrees Celsius from a minimum of 16 degrees. Leh will have partly cloudy sky. The maximum temperature was around 9 degrees Celsius while the minimum was -2 degrees. Gilgit is expected to have 20 degrees Celsius as an upper limit while the minimum was around 8 degrees. Muzaffarabad, the temperatures will rise from a minimum of 10 degrees Celsius to a maximum of around 26 degrees. Dehradun, the maximum temperature will be around 33 degrees, while the minimum was 18 degrees. Chandigarh, the temperature may go up to 36 degrees, while the minimum was around 16 degrees.
And now an overview of today's newspapers. In view of the recent surge in COVID-19 cases, shots at workplaces from April 11th. Public-private offices with 100 eligible people can get COVID jabs, states the Pioneer. Calling it the Suraksha Kavach, the Delhi High Court states, wearing mask mandatory even if driving alone, writes the Hindu. In letter to court, Vazir names Sena Minister over 50 crore rupees demand, is a front story in the Indian Express. Maoists release picture of captured commando, self-appointed interlocutor enters forest to negotiate release, is a lead story in the Asian Age. RBI takes the QE road, rupees 1 trillion bond purchase plan in first quarter cheers up market, writes the Business Standard. COVID surge adding to uncertainty, RBI keeps key rate unchanged, states the Indian Express. And finally, in a bid to de-stress the students ahead of the upcoming board examinations, don't fear exams, PM to students in Pariksha Pe Charcha, writes the Indian Express.
And now before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi calls upon students not to fear for exams and celebrate them, asks parents not to put undue pressure on children and let them enjoy exams. Prime Minister gets second dose of COVID vaccine, corona situation and expansion of vaccination to be reviewed by Prime Minister with all Chief Ministers this evening. Centre asks Maharashtra, Punjab and Delhi to undertake necessary corrective actions immediately to improve COVID-19 vaccination drive. More than 9 crore doses of corona vaccine administered in the country. Madhya Pradesh government offices to work for 5 days a week for the next 3 months. High school and intermediate examinations of Uttar Pradesh board postponed till 8th of May. Maharashtra government promotes all state board students of class 9th and 11th to next class without any examination. High-level meeting to commemorate 400th birth anniversary of Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji to be chaired by Prime Minister today. And in sports, Paris Saint-Germain defeat Bayern Munich while Chelsea edge past FC Porto in the first leg of quarter-finals of UEFA Champions League. And with that we end the morning news. Have a nice day.